I sit in the lawyer's office, the air heavy with silence. My black dress feels like a weight from the funeral. The loss still presses on my chest. The fabric scratches my skin like a reminder. Mr. Whitman adjusts his glasses, steady and calm. Papers shift between his careful hands. Sunlight cuts through the blinds like prison bars. He looks at me with a steady gaze. "You are the main heir," he begins. "Your uncle left you great responsibility, millions in assets, a family estate." The words echo, but feel unreal. I nod, unable to process the numbers. I knew this day would come, but not so soon. At 26, I never imagined this. He slides a folder across the table. Personal belongings, memories, fragments of his life. The door opens without warning. I expect the secretary. Instead, I freeze. Two faces I thought I would never see. My parents standing in the doorway. 16 years vanished, now returned. My father speaks with false sympathy. "We are sorry for your loss," he says. The words cut like a blade. I whisper, "You left me. You cannot be here." My voice shakes with anger. Memories return in waves. A kitchen table, a note. No goodbye. Just the line saying my uncle would care for me. No love, no promise of return. My childhood ended in that moment. I grip the edge of the table now. The room spins, my heart pounding. The lawyer rises, voice firm. "This is a private meeting," he says. My parents ignore him, eyes on me. Their presence feels like betrayal reborn. My mother takes a step closer. Her perfume is unchanged. Sweet, but now it stings like poison. My childhood flashes before me. A girl waiting for parents who never came back. Uncle Ben filling the silence. He gave me soup and stories. He gave me comfort I never expected. He became the parent they refused to be. Now they return for what he left me. The thought makes bile rise in my throat. The lawyer steadies me with a look. "You are not alone," his eyes seem to say. But the room still feels like a battlefield. My parents stand their ground. I clutch the folder of inheritance tighter. It feels like a shield between us. My voice shakes, but I speak louder. "You abandoned me. You do not belong here." The silence that follows is crushing. My mother's eyes glisten, but I do not trust it. Her tears are too late, too empty. My father's jaw tightens. His voice lowers to a warning. "We only want what is right," he mutters. But I know what he truly means. They came for the money, not for me. The realization burns in my chest. Uncle Ben gave me love. They want profit. The difference is all I need to know. I straighten in my chair, my decision firm. "You left me once. You will not take this too." The words echoed louder than my fear. The lawyer nods in quiet approval. My parents exchange a glance. They did not expect resistance. For once, I hold the power. The room grows tense, the air thick. Every heartbeat feels like a drum. I remind myself of the nights with Uncle Ben, the safety he gave me, the warmth that proved family is chosen, not blood. My parents shift uncomfortably. They see they cannot control me anymore. I push the folder back toward the lawyer. "Handle this properly," I say. My voice steadier now, stronger. The lawyer clears his throat. "This meeting is over," he declares. My parents hesitate. For the first time, they look unsure. They realize their hold is gone. I stand slowly, not as a child, but as an heir. The years of pain fuel my strength. I walk toward the door, past them. Their presence no longer paralyzes me. I choose my future, not theirs. Uncle Ben's legacy is safe with me. I will protect it as he protected me. The lawyer follows behind. The door closes with finality. This time, I am the one who walks away. My clear thinking starts to break through the shock. What do you want? I ask, my voice steadier than I feel. I hold my chin high and keep my hands still. My father smiles the sales smile I remember, the same one he used to close deals. We came to pay respects, he says, smooth as ever. And to see you. It has been a long time. I need to process my uncle's death first. Then I will decide what comes next. That is where I am now. I lift a hand between us like a small wall. It is my first boundary. It shakes, but it stands. Grant keeps smiling, but his eyes turn cold. Stella, we are family, he says. We have a right to be here. He leans in as if that makes it true. We wanted to reconnect, Nadine adds, soft and calm. Her voice is sugar, but it coats a blade. Now seemed like the right time. The right time. Right after the funeral. Right as the estate becomes mine to guard. The pattern is clear in a single breath. I feel clarity hit like a bell. What my uncle built is now exposed. If I falter, I could lose it all. These familiar strangers did not come for me. They came for what I now hold. They stand calm and ready while I grieve. They chose this moment for a reason. The imbalance is stark, and I name it. Mrs. Thomas, Caleb says, voice back to business. He is composed again, steady and firm. Perhaps we should schedule another time. Miss Thomas is still grieving. There are urgent matters to address. He keeps it brief and precise. My parents trade a look I know too well. It's the quiet signal before a push. They have a plan and a united front. They've chose the timing to corner me. Hit me when I'm most raw. A soft knock breaks the pressure. Iris steps in with quiet grace. Her silver hair is pulled back neat. She holds fresh tissues in one hand. Her eyes sweep the room and land on them. She reads the moment in a second. Her gaze narrows when she sees my parents. Miss Stella, I brought the car around, she says. Her southern drawl thickens when she's upset. You look pale, dear. Come breathe. A choice rises in my chest. Leave or stand. Run with Iris or face them now. The manager in me says stay and lead. The scared child says go where it is safe. Before I pick, Iris moves without a word. She places herself between me and my parents. Her frame is slight, but her stance is steel. She becomes a wall made of care. No force in her body, only resolve. I feel safer with her near me. Grant looks over her and dismisses her. Still keeping the help, he says with a sneer. Iris straightens but stays calm. I have been here for 16 years, sir. Her voice makes the word family ring. The meaning is not lost on anyone. A spark of resolve lights in my chest. It grows into something steady and sure. I stand and gather my purse and the folder. Iris is family, I say, clear and direct. I meet my parents' eyes for the first time. You two are strangers to me now. The words are simple and final. I do not bolt for the door. I move to stand shoulder to shoulder with Iris. It is a message that needs no extra words. My father hardens. My mother flinches. Good. Let the truth land for once. We will be in touch, Grant says, brisk. He sounds like he's closing a meeting. I'm sure you will, I say without shaking. I am surprised by my own steady tone. We turn toward the hallway. Iris finds my hand and squeezes once. The message is clear. I am with you. Whatever comes next, we face it together. Sunday arrives and I stand in the kitchen. It was his kitchen. Now it's mine. Coffee drips while light fills the room. The bay windows glow with morning. 3 days since the scene at the office. 3 nights of little sleep and long thoughts. Every car outside makes me tense. I keep wondering if they'll return. The doorbell rings and answers me. The chime cuts through the quiet house. I do not need the peephole to guess who stands outside. I already know who stands outside. The coffee maker beeps ready, but I leave it. I walk to the door and square my shoulders. My heart thunders against my ribs as I step closer. I pause with my hand on the knob and breathe deep. I use the slow inhale Iris taught me after bad dreams. I open the door and steady my shoulders. They stand together on the porch like a posed photo. Grant in pressed khakis and a neat blue shirt. Nadine in a cream cardigan and tailored slacks. They look like time moved forward without them changing. 16 years have passed, but they are still unmistakable. The jawline, the small nose, the features I see in my mirror. Familiar faces without the bond behind them. You cannot just appear here, I say evenly. I keep my body firm in the doorway. Grant gives that practiced neighborly smile. We only want to talk, he says, 5 minutes. His tone is light. His eyes are not. Old warnings from Caleb ring in my head. But the stubborn child in me still wants answers. I step back 1 pace and let them in. They cross the threshold like they never left. We walk to the kitchen where I grew up. Their eyes scan every detail as if taking inventory. The new cabinets, the stone counters, the pro range my uncle installed last year. Little looks pass between them as they assess. Coffee, I ask, mostly to keep my hands busy. Black, Grant says, taking a seat like he belongs. Your mother takes cream and sugar, he adds. I know how Iris takes hers, I say coolly. I was asking what you want. Nadine winces but accepts the mug I offer. This is a beautiful home, she says softly. Benjamin had taste in everything. I lean on the counter instead of joining them. This is the table where I learned algebra and ethics, where I balanced my first checkbook with him. Grant takes a slow sip and sets down a leather folio. We did our homework, he says. That company is worth close to $15 million. The naked greed still manages to sting. So much for small talk or grief. I keep my face neutral and my voice flat. Nadine opens the folio and fans out papers. Balance sheets, valuations, property reports. Lines and numbers cover every page. We just want the full picture, she says. Honey, she adds, and I feel my jaw set. Do not call me honey, I say sharper than planned. What is all of this supposed to be? Grant slides a document across the table. A full breakdown of your inheritance, he says. The business, cash, real estate, everything. I do not touch the paper. Where did this come from? That is not the point, Grant says smoothly. It is the point to me, I cut in. You were gone 16 years. 3 days after the funeral, you appear with data about his estate, about my life. Nadine glances at Grant and then back at me. We reached out to Benjamin many times. For money, I say, as the pieces lock in place. You contacted him when you needed cash. Neither of them denies it. He never told me, I say, feeling the truth hit. He shielded me from all of this. Grant sighs in a way that sounds rehearsed. Your uncle gave you a one-sided story, he says. He did not need to give a story, I reply. You left a note that said he would take care of me. Then you vanished. That is the story. Nadine reaches into her purse and pulls a slim folder. There are things you do not know, she says. She slides it over the table toward me. I hesitate, then flip it open. Court papers, custody filings, sworn statements, old bank records with dates and sums. A number jumps out from a page marked 2009. $13,500. What is this? I ask, though I already feel it. We were in trouble, Nadine says, voice low. We needed money, and we made bad choices. My throat tightens, but I keep reading. The pages lay out debts, missed payments, liens. Dates match the years I waited for calls. You could have come back for me. You came back for numbers instead. Grant looks away first, a tiny tell. Nadine closes her eyes for a breath. We cannot undo the past, she says. But we can do what is right now. She slides one last page into view. A proposal with signatures already drafted. My name is printed at the bottom line. It suggests a transfer of shares to them, in exchange for guidance and family support. What you call support, I call control. I push the paper back across the table. This conversation is over, I say, calm and clear. You may leave now. The door is that way. I stand tall and do not look away. This file says my uncle offered full custody. In return, you signed away all parental rights. I finish the page and feel my stomach drop. You traded your child for a payout? $13,000? That is not what happened, Grant says fast. His eyes flick away instead of meeting mine. It is exactly what happened, I answer. You signed me away in a courthouse. The kitchen goes silent except for the clock. Its steady tick fills the hallway. He wound it every Sunday while telling stories. That is the sound of a real parent. The truth snaps into place inside me. He did not just take me in. He guarded me. He paid you to keep your distance. Every gift and lesson was part of that shield. He built a wall of safety around my life. Even his quiet sadness makes sense now. You waited for him to die, I say. You timed this for the reading. You were ready the second it ended. Grant straightens and drops the act. We have problems, Stella. Real ones. What kind of problems? I ask flatly. I owe people who do not wait. 85,000, no more delays. Nadine adds that her treatment bills piled up. She whispers about cards maxed to the limit. 45,000 more, she admits. So you need cash within 60 days. The timeline explains your sudden concern. Grant looks surprised I spotted it so fast. We are still your parents, he says, leaning in. Family helps family, he adds like a rule. Family does not vanish for years. Family does not sign away a child. We'll contest the will if we have to. We have rights as your biological parents. I almost laugh. You sold those rights in court for $13,000? Legal details can be reworked, he says. We had bad counsel back then. The threat hangs like a storm cloud. Desperate people are dangerous when cornered. I feel the risk in the room. They would burn my peace to get what they want. A floorboard creaks in the doorway. Iris is there, taking in the mess in one glance. Paper scattered, my shoulders rigid. Faces tight with anger and need. That is enough for today, she says. Her voice is soft, her tone is iron. Grant waves a hand. This is family business. Yes, she says, stepping beside me. And Stella is my family. They gather their files and see the line drawn. At the door, Grant turns back once more. Think about this, he says. We will be in touch soon. After they leave, my legs finally loosen. Iris leads me to the couch without a word. She moves to the kitchen and returns with tea. She uses his porcelain cups reserved for big moments. You heard all of it? I ask quietly. She nods. Mr. Ben knew this day would come. He prepared for it, piece by piece. My phone buzzes on the table. Caleb's name lights the screen. I answer, and he gets straight to it. I reviewed more files, he says. I need to show you their earlier attempts. You knew? I ask, my voice tight. Not until today, he says. Ben kept separate records you did not see. I found the key to his safe box. There is a lot. Legal files and witness notes. Iris holds my hand and grounds me. We face this together, she says. I look at her and at Caleb's name. A clear thought rises through the noise. My uncle knew exactly what might happen. I am not alone, and I am not unready. I have a team and a plan to build. Iris holds the family history and the truth. Caleb brings the law and the strategy. We can do more than react. We can act. The first steps are already laid out. My uncle left money, yes, but also the tools to win. I squeeze Iris' hand and feel my balance return. We will defend what he built, I say. We will defend who he raised. The plan forms in clean lines in my mind. Secure the business, secure the estate. Document everything. No more surprises. Call Caleb first thing in the morning. Loop in trusted staff and lock access. Whatever comes next, we meet it head on. He left money, yes, but also the tools to win. I will protect what he built. I head to Caleb's office. It is early Monday and the city is still waking up. I clutch my portfolio tight like a shield. The conference table is lined with careful stacks. Each stack sits in a manila folder. Every tab is labeled in my uncle's neat hand. Caleb adjusts his glasses and looks up. Early light flashes across the lenses. Your uncle was very thorough, he says. He slides one folder toward me to open first. These are investigator reports, he explains. They covered the years 2019 to 2023. He hired someone to log every contact attempt. I feel my fingertips buzz. As I read, there are photos of Grant outside our flagship store. There are typed notes of late-night calls. I see transcripts of sharp messages. I see voicemails left on a private line. Requests range from 5,000 to 75,000. Each one labeled as an urgent emergency. There is more, Caleb says, opening another file. Audio recordings captured after early visits. He says my uncle installed a new system. Caleb taps a key and a voice fills the room. It is lower and rougher than I recall, but I know it is Grant in a second. Listen, Ben, you have the money, the voice says. Help your own brother or I make trouble. The girl does not need to know this. My stomach knots and I steady my breath. Play that again, I say, and he does. This time I listen past the words. I hear clinking glass and low chatter. It sounds like a crowded bar or tavern. My uncle wouldn't choose a place like that. They must have followed and boxed him in. Another folder holds letters from my mother, each one more urgent than the last. They cite hospital stays and procedures. My uncle's notes say claims were checked. His files say the stories didn't hold. Caleb sets down the most important page. A court order issued in 2021. It grants a restraining order for him. The judge lists a pattern of conduct. It cites repeated attempts to exploit. It cites deliberate emotional pressure. I feel the timing click into place. They scanned obituaries and lay low. They waited for the exact date to press. Caleb nods and says, "My uncle expected it. That is why he recorded everything. He wanted me armed when they returned." For the first time, I feel more than fear. I feel strength that comes from facts. He left me more than assets. He left cover. "I want to meet them," I say at last. "Not here and not at my house." "Are you sure?" Caleb asks, concern plain. "They will not cause a scene in public. I also want witnesses in the room." I reach for my phone to set it up. 2 hours later, I stand on the showroom floor. It is the heart of Arcadia Home and Living. Every display looks like a warm home. Polished oak tables line the center. Sectional sofas sit in soft earth tones. Bedroom sets are built to last. He spent decades perfecting the space. The doors open and they walk in. A few shoppers glance up at the same time. Grant wears a charcoal suit over a soft belly. Nadine wears cream that makes her look younger. I let them approach without moving. I stand beside an antique desk he restored. My fingertips rest on the polished wood. It steadies me like an anchor. "Thank you for coming," I say in an even tone. My voice carries just far enough. Shoppers can hear the truth without feeling a scene. "I found files my uncle kept about you. They document the pattern across years. He logged calls, visits, and requests. He noted threats and false emergencies." Grant's jaw tightens, but he smiles. He says we should talk somewhere private. "We will talk here," I answer calmly. "This is where he built his legacy. This is where I will defend it." Nadine glances at the customers. Her hand tightens around her purse strap. "We only want what is fair," she says. "Fair means honoring legal choices," I reply. "Fair means respecting the will and the order." I lay my palm on the old desk again. I speak so the room can hear the truth. This business will not be used to pay old debts. This estate will not be carved up by pressure. You can leave now or hear the next step. I have counsel, evidence, and witnesses today. Grant's confident stride falters for a beat. A quick flash of worry crosses his face. It turns to anger, then back to a smile. He tries to sell calm he does not feel. "Stella, honey, I am not sure what you think you found, but we can clear this up," he begins. "The court orders?" I say, and watch his eyes widen. "The restraining order from 2021? The documented harassment and threats? The fake medical emergencies?" Nadine steps closer, perfume trailing in the air. "Those were desperate times," she says. "We have changed. You cannot know our pain." "I know enough," I answer, pulling a copy. "A check stub for $13,500. I found this. That is what you took to sign me away." Color drains from Nadine's face. A couple nearby stops pretending not to listen. "You do not understand the context." Grant lowers his voice to a tight whisper. "We had debts. People were threatening us." "And I was worth $13,000? I say. I keep my tone even and controlled. "This is not a reunion. This is a business boundary. That was the price you set for your child." For the first time, I see a real crack in my mother. Shame, or something close to it, flickers. Grant notices staff nearby at earshot. "We should talk in private," he says, reaching. I step back out of his reach. "There is nothing to discuss," I say. "The records are clear. You have no claim." No claim to me or to what he left. We are still your parents, Nadine says. Her voice thins and shakes. Biology is not family, I reply. He taught me what family is. Grant's face hardens like stone. This is not over, Stella, he says. It is over for today, I answer. Please leave this store and do not return. You are not welcome here. They hesitate, wrong-footed by the pushback. Grant wants to argue, but the room is not his. With one last glare, he takes Nadine by the arm. He guides her toward the doors without a word. I stand straight until the glass closes behind them. Only then do my hands shake a little. Adrenaline fades and breath returns.
Sarah, our manager, walks over. Your uncle said you were stronger than you knew. Others drift closer with quiet support. A middle-aged couple nods and smiles. That took courage, the woman says. Ben would be proud of you. Outside, the sun is bright on the lot. Iris waits beside her blue sedan, searching my face. They are gone, I tell her as I reach her. For now at least, I add. A slow smile warms her whole face. He would be so proud, Miss Stella, so very proud, she says. My phone buzzes with a message from Caleb. The records are ironclad. You did well today, he writes. I stand in the afternoon light. I look at the business he built and the people here. I feel triumph and a careful caution. The win is real, but not complete. Grant's parting words echo in my head. This is not over, he said. I know desperation does not quit. They had years to plan. They can pivot fast. I pushed back today, but I stay alert. A retreat this easy rarely lasts. Now I choose to press or to prepare more. It feels like a larger fight is coming. He taught me patience in every deal. The one who rushes shows the weak spot. We head to the car and Iris drives. I watch the streets blurred by the window. My mind sorts next steps in order. Secure the company accounts and access. Brief core staff and tighten controls. Coordinate with Caleb on filings. Document every contact and attempt. Set a protocol for calls and visits. Schedule security checks at the house. I list tasks and timelines in my head. Iris glances over and nods once. He raised you to lead, she says softly. You are doing exactly that. I breathe out and keep planning. Patience and preparation win long fights. We follow the plan and stay steady. No fear, only steps forward. The road home feels clearer than before. Iris turns the corner and the sun lifts. I watch the familiar streets roll by. He loved this city. I can feel it too. A first real sense of control settles in. It does not erase grief, but it steadies it. Iris, I say softly, we should prepare for more. She nods once, no extra words needed. Mr. Ben kept more notes than we have seen. We will find them, she says with calm surety. This is the start of a long match. I won the first exchange, not the war. Back at Caleb's, I spread files in rows. Every page has a place and a purpose. 3 days have passed since the showdown. Raw triumph has cooled into strategy. The doors closed, but the work opened. Caleb sets a new folder in front of me. These are the legal angles they may try. He leans in, glasses catching the light. Your uncle saw most of this coming. I scan pages with my quarterly focus. The win at the store felt good, but he taught me not to chase feelings. Never confuse a battle with the war. They will claim undue influence, I say. They will say he was not competent late on. Caleb smiles slightly and taps a tab. 6 months of clean evaluations, signed and dated by specialists. The room becomes a command post. Files align, notes fill yellow pads, coffee guards each corner like sentries. This is not emotion anymore. This is business. He never moved without full facts. Neither will I say under my breath. My phone buzzes with a message from Iris. They drove by again. 3rd time today.
Cold focus settles where triumph was. They are not only desperate, they are set. We document everything, I tell Caleb. Every pass, call, and message. Every person they try to sway. He lifts his pen without delay. I will draft a cease and desist. It sets the record if we need it later. I turn to my uncle's business journals. He mapped how to handle hostile moves. He beat 3 takeover attempts in his time. Always with the same steady hand I knew. Always with prep. Never would rage. They will hunt for weak spots, I say. They will claim mismanagement or error. They will hope doubt will do the rest. Which is why we run a full audit, he says. It is already underway. The hollow grief shifts to iron. Focus takes the space that fear held. It is more than my name on papers. It is honoring 16 years of care. Later, Iris arrives with a folder of her own. She sets it down with careful hands. I kept notes, she says in a quiet voice. Calls during his illness. Visitors too. People who came by and never came in. I thought you might need it now. Inside are dates, times, and details. Her neat script tracks slow cars by make. Notes mark plates and colors when she could. Lines flag patterns across weeks. Some entries match the last months of his life. They watched the house while he faded. They circled while we cared for him. They were watching him die, I whisper. The truth hits hard in my chest. Iris nods with sorrow and resolve. We will use this, she says. We will not let their pressure define you. Caleb scans the pages with care. These notes support the pattern, he says. They back the order from before. We can build from this foundation. I gather the folders into one stack. I label and date every section. We set a shared log for events. We set alerts for any contact. We brief staff on a single script. All inquiries route to legal at once. No answers on the floor or by phone. No exceptions, not even for family. We add cameras at the house entry. We save footage to a secure cloud. I call the head of operations to align. He confirms the audit timeline. He flags no gaps and no missing keys. He will circulate a new access list. We add two-factor to all systems. We reset passwords older than 90 days. By dusk, the plan is more than words. It is tasks, owners, and dates on paper. I look at Iris and Caleb and feel steady. This is how we honor him, with action. Her face stays calm, but her eyes steel. I believe they were, Miss Stella, she says. I pick up my phone and make the first call. Sarah, I need eyes on any questions from them. Log every time they come in. Note what they ask and who they ask. Inventory, staffing, vendors, and finances. Have the other managers do the same. Already in motion, Sarah says. Your father came by yesterday. He asked about our supply chain, said he was curious about the family business. A chill runs down my spine. They are more methodical than I thought. Thank you, I say. Log everything. Keep it courteous, keep it brief. By night, we have a quiet network in place. Managers, warehouse, and floor leads. Even drivers are ready to report. No confrontations, only documentation. Build the record, do not tip our hand. I review warehouse camera feeds. Caleb picks up a call beside me. His face darkens as he listens. He ends the call and exhales slow. There is a new development. They retained Martin Keene, he says. The name hits the room with weight. My stomach drops hard. The lawyer who went after us in 2018? Caleb nods once. The very same. He knows our old weak spots. Your parents did their homework. I lean back and absorb the threat. They are not just desperate, they are strategic and informed. They will test every seam we have. I underestimated their planning. Caleb stacks documents into order. Brains without ethics can still be beaten. I turn another page of Ben's journals. The store scene now feels small by comparison. It was a skirmish. This is the campaign. He prepared for this for 16 years. Now I prepare with the same discipline. 4 days turned the room into a war room. Papers spread to every edge. A whiteboard tracks all prior contact. Every date, every outcome listed. Caleb slides over a key clause. The no contest language is airtight. He taps the paragraph with a pen. Anyone who challenges forfeits everything. Your uncle left no gaps here. I trace the lines and hear his voice. Precise, careful, no shortcuts. What about the litigation trust? Fully funded and already active. He removes his glasses to polish them. There is capital for a long fight, up to 5 years if we need it. The weight of it settles in my chest. Not fear, but responsibility. I picture how he would approach this. Method first, then motion. No rush, no holes. This is not about a quick win. This is about securing his life's work. Everything he trusted me to hold. Iris appears in the doorway with the folder. She holds it close to her chest. I gathered statements from all caregivers, nurses, doctors, therapists, all of them. Each confirms he stayed clear-minded right through the final weeks. Thank you, Iris, I say. I add the file to our growing stack. Any updates from the field? I ask. She checks her notes before answering. Managers report no gaps in controls. All stores lock down their records. Access lists are current and signed. Security protocols are in place. No one is speaking out of turn. Caleb marks the board with a final note. We are ready for filings if they move. I nod and close my notebook. We answer facts with facts. We answer pressure with process. We answer threats with law. Iris sets one more envelope on the table. Her voice is soft but firm. It is all organized by date and source. We can hand this to a judge tomorrow. Good, I say. No delays. We fight on our terms, not theirs. Iris gives a small, proud nod. Caleb signs off on the chain of custody. Every ledger and backup now accounted for. All financial records secured as directed. Mr. Johnson called to confirm stability reports are ready. We can pull them the moment you ask. I exhale and check off another line on the list. One more piece on the board in place. We are not winning yet. We are positioning with careful intent. The store scene was a skirmish. What comes now is the real campaign. We are moving exactly as he taught us. Build the defense before they attack. Caleb's tone carries calm approval. Ben would have wanted this approach. Iris lingers at the door, fidgeting a hem, a rare nervous habit from her. Something is on her mind. What is it, Iris? I ask. She steps inside and closes the distance. I reread Mr. Ben's will and notice something. Her voice dips, steady but low. He named me as backup executor if anything happens to you. The truth lands with unexpected force. Of course he trusted her. What it means now is the point. If they target me, they may target Iris too. Caleb, does this raise her risk? My voice sharpens as I ask. It could, he says, brow furrowed. A deep dive into the plan will reveal her role. They might try to discredit or claim she swayed him. Cold worry spreads in my chest. This is bigger than my inheritance. It is about the woman who stood in when others would not. We expand the plan, I say, pacing. We protect the estate and we protect Iris. I don't want to be more trouble, she says. You're not trouble, I answer. You're family. We protect family. The words feel firm and right. A week ago, I shook in this room. Now, I stand and think beyond myself. He would be proud of that growth. Caleb checks his phone and looks up. My sources say your parents are probing. They ask about all of Ben's relationships, including longtime staff and suppliers. My mind races through the names. Do I tell Iris every detail or shield her and carry it myself? Leadership presses in with the choice. We adapt for 2 hours straight. We add protections for Iris to the plan. Caleb drafts affidavits from former staff. They attest to Iris's role and conduct. I pull reviews and tenure records. 16 years of clean performance. Each page becomes another brick in our wall, not only around me, but around us. By evening, the table shows the scope. A full defense assembled and ordered. Financials, statements, precedent, history. Everything labeled and ready. Caleb scans the checklist one last time. He looks up with a quiet resolve. We are as ready as we can be. It is time to move. I look to Iris by the window at sunset. Seattle glows in orange and gold. She turns and meets my eyes. Mr. Ben's plan is solid, she says. You have what you need. I study the binders and stacks. His foresight sits in front of me. Our work has turned it into armor. A steadiness settles over me. The woman who trembled in this room 7 days ago is not the one standing here now. I square my shoulders and breathe. We will meet them with facts and law. We will move first in the morning, and we will not yield what he built. Iris closes the blinds and nods once. Caleb caps his pen and files the notes. The plan is set, and the path is clear. Outside, the skyline fades to blue. Inside, we lock the folders and secure the safe. I pick up my coat and the master file. We step into the hall together. Tomorrow begins the next phase. No panic, only action. The elevator doors slide open. I catch my reflection for a brief second. I recognize the resolve in my eyes. We ride down in steady silence. I hold the file like a promise kept. We walk out into the cool night air. The city hums like a living oath. Iris unlocks the car and waits. I glance back at the office lights, then forward to what comes next. I am ready to defend what he trusted me to hold.
A week ago, I was someone else. Now, I am strategic, prepared, ready. Tomorrow brings the clash we expected. We have built toward this day. Tonight, the work surrounds me like armor. I know we are ready for what comes. Whatever they try next, we will meet it. A certified letter arrives the next week. Iris sets it on the kitchen counter. The official stamp stares up at us. My fingers tremble as I open it. The paper tears louder than it should. I read the first line and breathe in. Court summons, I say, voice steady. They are contesting the will. Iris's spoon clatters against her cup. After all this, she says under her breath. I scan the dense legal language. My stomach tightens with each line. They claim undue influence. They say he was not of sound mind. They attack the change to his will. The words taste bitter as I read. They also seek a temporary injunction. They want all assets frozen, including the company, while this proceeds. The papers shake a little in my hands. This is more than money now. They aim to take the whole of it. The house, the business, his legacy. My entire life as I know it. Who represents them? Iris asks. She steps closer to read with me. Martin Keene, I say, the name sharp. Ben's old adversary in court. The lawyer who went after Arcadia 3 years ago over a supplier dispute. This is not a coincidence. My phone rings. Caleb's name appears. He already knows. He has the filing. They planned this for weeks, he says. They filed before Judge Harmon. She is cautious with estate transfers. What are our chances, I ask. I pace the tile with the phone to my ear. Better than theirs, he says, but it will be ugly. They did their homework, Stella. The emergency hearing is Friday. Friday morning, he adds. Less than 2 days to build our response.
The room tilts and I brace on the counter. They cannot win this, I whisper. Maybe not, he says, but they can stall. They can tie your hands for months. They hope you settle to save stability. Arcadia is the lever. We end the call and I look outside. The garden waits in quiet. He loved those beds every spring. I think of his hands in the soil. The azaleas bloom bright and pink. He planted them the year I graduated. Their color mocks the cold in my chest. They have been watching us, I say, waiting for the moment to strike. The doorbell cuts through my thoughts. Through the glass, I see a news van. A reporter waits with a mic on the porch. Perfect timing, I think grimly. I open the door before she can knock again. Ms. Thomas, she says with a polished smile. Catherine Ward, K-Euro News. We are covering the estate dispute. Will you comment on your parents' concerns about your ability to run the company during this time of grief? She asks. My stomach drops. They went public. No comment, I say, and close the door. My phone buzzes with new texts. Sarah from the Bellevue store writes Hearst. Reporters are here asking staff about you. What should we say? She asks. Another ping from operations follows. 2 large orders canceled this morning. They heard we may change ownership. They want to wait, the note adds. I rest my head against the cool wood. Grant and Nadine are not only in court, they are working the narrative. They sow doubt in our stability. They target customer confidence. They're running a PR play. I tell Iris and show the texts. They position as concerned parents. They question my capacity to lead. They try to make me look unready. We need a response that calms the market and keeps the case in the courtroom. I draft a brief statement for stores, confident, factual, and clear. Daughter making hasty decisions, that is their angle. Despicable, Iris whispers, her kind face set firm. It is calculated, I say, heading to Ben's study. And it is working. People have questions. I spend 4 hours on calls with Caleb. We put our countermeasures in motion. His paralegal arrives with a thick folder, adoption papers Ben drafted years ago, court records of harassment by my parents, private investigator reports on their deaths. By evening, the dining room is a war room. Briefs and exhibits cover every surface. Managers arrive with sales reports. Employees send statements on Ben's trust in me. They are good, Caleb says, scanning filings. Grant and Nadine avoid the look of greed. They frame it as guarding the legacy. It is manipulative, and it plays well. Some neighbors wonder if they have a point. Margaret asked if you are ready, Iris says. The sting surprises me. She has known me since 10. We have to be smarter, I say, and gather the team. They planned for months. We have 41 hours. I hand out roles with calm I feel grow. Sarah will coordinate staff testimonials. Caleb's team preps exhibits on Ben's intent. Iris will contact Ben's doctors. They will attest to his clear mind to the end. What about you? Caleb asked. I will study Keen's case history. I will prep for cross and for any trap. They will say I am unstable and naive. Near midnight, only Iris remains at the table. She files witness notes into color folders. You should sleep, she says gently. So should you, I say. We both stay. Do you think we can win? I ask at last. Iris looks up, eyes fierce, despite the hour. They planned for years. Ben planned longer. He knew them and their plays. She sets her hand over mine. On Friday, we show them what family is. My phone rings. Caleb again. The judge moved the hearing, he says. Tomorrow at 8. Emergency request filed. He claims urgent business needs fast action. My heart hammers. Can she do that? She can, and she did. We have less than 12 hours. I hang up and meet Iris's steady eyes. Tomorrow morning, I say, they moved it up. They want to catch us off guard, she says. She gathers the key files without a pause. I nod and feel resolve harden. Call everyone, bring what you have. Finished or not, we work the night. I walk to Ben's study as Iris dials. His portrait watches with kind eyes. I will not let them take this, I whisper. I promise. The hall clock chimes once. The longest night begins. By sunrise, I will be ready, or I will fail him. There is no middle ground now. Tomorrow I keep everything or lose it all. Morning finds me at the courthouse. I sit rigid on a hard oak bench. My black blazer fits like armor. I stare at the paneled wall clock. Its hands crawl forward in slow steps. The second hand ticks like a metronome. The room hums with low voices. Caleb flips through tabs beside me. Iris holds a folder to her chest. She gives me a small nod. I breathe in and sit taller. We are here with facts and proof. We are here to honor what he built. The bailiff opens the doors. Case is called. We rise as one. I feel the ground under my feet. Solid, unmoving, ready. This is where preparation speaks. This is where noise becomes record. I glance once at Iris and Caleb. They nod. We step forward together. I set the master file on counsel table. The tabs line up in quiet order. My hand is steady on the binder. The clerk announces the judge. Everyone rises. Silence falls. This is the moment we prepared for. I lift my chin and face the bench. I am not alone in this room. I carry his plan and our work. I carry 16 years of proof. The judge looks down at the docket. The case number echoes in the chamber. I set my shoulders for the opening volleys. The clock reads 9:33. 11:01 a.m. Beside me, Iris fidgets with her handkerchief. The embroidered corner slides between her fingers. Caleb aligns documents with steady care. Across the aisle sit my parents with Martin Keene, the man who once sued Uncle Ben's company. Now he represents the people who left me behind. Grant wears a tailored charcoal suit, Nadine in navy blue, hair pulled tight. They play the part of concerned parents, not opportunists, not liars, parents. The bailiff's voice cuts through. All rise. Judge Eleanor Richardson presiding. Silver hair pulled back, glasses low. Her eyes sweep the room as she sits. Be seated. She opens the file. We are here for emergency proceedings regarding the contested estate of Benjamin Thomas. She nods. Mr. Keene, you may begin. Martin Keene rises, buttoning his coat. His smile rehearsed, smooth as glass. Thank you, Your Honor, he begins. We represent Grant and Nadine Thomas, the aunt and uncle of Stella Thomas. He says it deliberately, aunt and uncle. My fists clench beneath the table. Caleb gives me a small shake of his head. Stay calm. Let them speak first. Benjamin Thomas's death was sudden, Keene continues. He suffered from hypertension and minor heart events. During this time, his niece lived with him, dependent on him financially, a position to exert undue influence. The words hang like smoke in the air. My pulse hammers, but my face stays still. We cite Carmichael versus Westbrook, a caregiver found to have undue sway. We request injunction to freeze assets Until it can be proven, Benjamin was of sound mind. My father leans forward in practiced sorrow. We only want what is best for our niece and for my brother's legacy, he says. If he was not clear, mistakes could follow. The judge turns. Mr. Whitaker, response. Caleb stands slowly, measured, and sure. Your Honor, this is not undue influence. This is harassment dressed as concern. He lifts a thick binder from our table. I was Benjamin's attorney for 30 years. His will has stood nearly unchanged since Stella was 12 years old, 2 years after her parents abandoned her. The word abandoned cracks the silence. I shift toward my parents. We hold notarized records of their choice. They sold rights to Benjamin for $13,500 in the year 2009. The judge studies the papers closely. Mr. Keene, were you aware of this? For the first time, his smile slips. Your Honor, my clients admit mistakes. They have changed. Their concern is real. Caleb continues. We have more. Court orders filed for protection against repeated demands and threats between 2019 and 2023. He lays transcripts of recorded calls. Grant Thomas threatening Arcadia itself if money was not handed over. The gallery murmurs at the evidence. Judge Richardson leans forward, her eyes sharp on my parents. The tide begins to turn. My parents shift in their seats, the performance mask cracking just slightly. Keene clears his throat and tries to redirect, but the damage has been done. Caleb presses advantage with steady tone. Benjamin prepared his estate with foresight. His intent was clear and consistent, to provide for Stella Thomas alone. The words settle heavy in the chamber, and for the first time, I feel momentum shift, not in whispers or promises, but in the record itself. The truth laid bare in black and white. The court silent but for the scratching pen. The judge taking careful notes. The walls themselves seem to listen. Every document another brick in defense. Every testimony another shield raised. Keene shifts but finds no footing. The stage is no longer his. It belongs to us now. Iris catches my eye and nods once. We hold our ground together. The hearing has only begun, but the truth has already spoken. The record is clear. And for the first time in weeks, I believe we can win. They suddenly appeared at the reading of his will. The judge lifts her brows as she studies the papers. Mr. Keene, were you aware of this legal agreement? The attorney's polished smile cracks for the first time. Your Honor, my clients admit mistakes of the past, but people change. Their concern is now genuine. Caleb steps forward again, his tone steady. I also present court records, Your Honor. Benjamin Thomas had to file for legal protection against repeated extortion attempts between 2019 and 2023. He opens another file and lays it on the table. Inside are transcripts of phone calls, Grant Thomas threatening Arcadia Home and Living if his financial demands were not met. Included is a restraining order granted in 2021. The gallery breaks into low whispers. The judge raps her gavel once for silence. Additionally, Caleb says, I have an audio recording. The clerk sets a small speaker on the desk. Grant's voice echoes through the courtroom. Ben, you have $15 million tied up in that business. What is $50,000 to you? If you don't help, I will consider other options. Stella is doing well at the company, isn't she? Would be a shame if something disrupted that. The words are sharp, undeniable. Nadine's face drains of color. Grant stares forward, his jaw rigid. This recording was made 14 months ago, long before any health concerns. Benjamin documented every contact carefully. He feared this day would come. The judge turns to Iris in the gallery. Miss Butte, you worked for Mr. Thomas, correct? Iris rises, her voice steady despite trembling hands. Yes, Your Honor. I cared for his home, and I helped raise Stella after their parents left. What was Mr. Thomas's mental state? Clear as a bell, right to the end. He ran that business daily and knew the numbers by heart. He was planning the spring line the day before he passed. And his relationship with Stella. He loved her as his own daughter. He was proud of her instincts and her work. They had Sunday dinner together every week without fail. Next, 3 store managers testify, each confirming Ben's sharp mind and pride in Stella. Sarah from the flagship store smiles. Ben told customers, "My niece picked that line. She knows what people want for their homes." My parents sit stone-faced beside Keen, but Nadine's knuckles whiten on her purse. Grant whispers harshly to his attorney. Keen shifts uncomfortably in his seat. When testimony concludes, the judge speaks. I have heard enough for this petition. The request for emergency relief is denied. She fixes her gaze on my parents. The timing and nature of this case is suspect. This will contains a no contest clause. By filing this, petitioners have triggered it. They have forfeited any claim they might have had. Relief rushes through me like sunlight. Iris squeezes my hand until it almost hurts. Additionally, the judge continues, I am ordering the petitioners to pay all legal costs. Her words strike like a final gavel. The courtroom breathes in stunned silence. Grant's shoulders sag. Nadine looks down. For once, their performance has failed. The gallery buzzes with quiet shock. Caleb closes the binder with calm precision. I finally let out a slow breath. The storm that haunted me for weeks has broken. The law has spoken, and the truth stands. Iris's eyes glisten, but she holds firm. We have defended Uncle Ben's name today, and defended the life he left for me. The judge rises and exits the chamber. The gavel's echo still hangs in the air. I turn to Caleb and Iris. Thank you for standing with me. Caleb nods once. It is only the beginning, but today you won. Iris squeezes my hand one more time. Her voice low, he would be proud. Tears threaten, but I hold them back. Strength is the legacy Uncle Ben gave me, and today I finally claimed it. The courtroom empties slowly, murmurs fading, but the weight in my chest has lifted. I know the fight may return another day, but right now I breathe victory, a victory written in law and in truth. The shadows of doubt are gone for now. I stand taller than I did when I walked in. For the first time in years, I feel whole. And I know Uncle Ben's legacy lives on, not only in the business, but in me. And that truth can never be taken away. Legal costs from this hearing are assigned to the petitioners. The judge peers over her glasses at my parents. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas, this court will not be used for harassment, nor for extortion under the guise of family concern. Based on today's evidence, I issue a restraining order. You are barred from coming within 1,000 feet of Stella Thomas. This includes her home and all Arcadia property. Grant's composure breaks, his face red. A vein pulses at his temple as he sputters. This is outrageous, he starts to shout. Keen grips his arm, urging silence. Violation of this order will mean contempt charges, the judge warns firmly. This case is dismissed. The gavel strikes once, sharp and final. Observers rise, some nodding in my direction. A deputy approaches my parents with papers. Grant slumps as he signs, confidence gone. It is over, Caleb says quietly. They have no further legal path forward. Iris dabs at her eyes. He planned for this day, she whispers. He is watching over you. I watch my parents gather their things. Nadine looks back once, her face unreadable before she walks away. 16 years of files proved enough. Ben knew what he was doing, Caleb remarks. Outside, sunlight greets us like freedom. I feel lighter than I have since his death. The inheritance is safe, the business secure, but more important, family has been redefined. Iris links her arm through mine gently. What are you thinking, Miss Stella? She asks. I touch Uncle Ben's watch on my wrist. Its steady tick calms me. Loyalty is not about blood, I say. It is about showing up year after year. A small crowd of Arcadia employees wait. They cheer as we step down the stairs. In their faces, I see community, Ben's true legacy shining back at me. I am no longer abandoned or grieving. I am guardian of all that Ben valued, the business, the people, the family he chose. My shoulders straighten with purpose. Carrying his legacy is privilege and duty. For the first time since his death, I feel certain I am ready. 6 months later, I stand at a podium, fingers resting on polished wood. Arcadia has grown, and I have grown with it. Our principle is simple, I tell the crowd. Quality matters in products and in people. The ballroom holds 300 leaders, and none make me doubt myself now. Beside me gleams the Crystal Leadership Award, a symbol of Ben's legacy alive and strong. Iris beams from the front row, proud. Caleb adjusts his glasses, nodding once. My true family, chosen, not inherited. Integrity in business mirrors life. Uncle Ben taught me that truth. When Arcadia opens into Cannes, I say, we bring the same values there. The chaos of the past feels distanced. The case that once haunted me, now only memory. The headlines are fading into history, but the strength they gave me remains. The stage lights gleam as I stand taller. I am no longer just surviving. I am leading, carrying forward what was entrusted. And for the first time, I truly believe I was chosen for this path, not by accident, not by chance, but by love, loyalty, and legacy. The applause rises around me, and in that sound, I hear Uncle Ben's voice, proud, steady, certain. The torch has passed, and I will not fail. The journey was hard, but it shaped me. The scars are proof of survival, and the legacy is proof of victory. I close my speech with gratitude for the business, for the people, for Ben. The crowd rises, applause echoing in waves. I look to Iris and Caleb, my anchors. We smile knowing we stood together. The girl abandoned long ago is gone. In her place stands a leader, unshaken. Arcadia's doors open to a brighter future, and I will walk through them with strength, carrying everything Ben taught me and giving it to the world in return. For this is more than inheritance. It is a promise, alive in every step I take. The room fades as applause continues, and I know with certainty I am ready. The legacy is mine to guard, and the future is mine to shape. Arcadia stands tall, and so do I. The story of survival has become a story of triumph. The papers in my office drawer remind me of strength, not pain. Headlines called it a decisive victory for a local business leader. The coverage confirmed what Ben always said. The truth, when prepared, will always rise. Within 48 hours, my parents left town. Their threats were as empty as their promises long ago. The restraining order remains on file with local police, but we never needed to enforce it. Those who abandon family rarely face consequences head-on. The Benjamin Thomas Foundation launches next week. Our mission is simple: to help those rebuilding after betrayal. Because sometimes family is chosen, not inherited. From the corner of my eye, I see Margaret, our new manager. Tears glisten as she listens. Weeks ago, she confessed her brother pressured her. He wanted secrets of our product line. Her fear echoed my own from months before. I told her she deserved protection, not pity. Caleb drafted legal orders the same day. Iris shared Ben's stories of resilience. Security strengthened our design protocols. We built walls she could trust. It felt different from my old panic. Sleep comes easily now. Morning coffee is calm, not anxious. The business thrives. Revenue up 23%. Employee satisfaction at record highs. But the greatest shift is internal. I no longer doubt my worth. I know I am worthy of what Ben built. The foundation has already helped 3 people. Each defended their boundaries and won. People like our employees facing impossible choices between loyalty and self-protection. In the crowd, Thomas Reynolds nods. Our youngest manager, once pressured by his parents. We defended his accounts through legal aid. His relief that day still warms me. I announce Iris as program director. Her pride shines as she takes her new role. She has always been our heart. Now the title reflects her truth. Caleb brings champagne after the ceremony. He is now our permanent counsel, another anchor in every storm. He would be proud, he says softly. I reply, he prepared me for this. I just did not realize it at the time. Later, I walk through the estate halls. This house that once felt too large, now feels alive with purpose. In Ben's old study, my study now, Arcadia's 3rd expansion plans cover the desk. Decisions no longer paralyze me. They inspire and drive me. No second guessing, no fear, only vision and steady action. The phone rings on the desk. A scholarship recipient shares her news. She has finished her business degree, her voice bright with hope. Another life rebuilt, another circle complete. Uncle Ben taught me to believe in people, to give them a chance to rise. Now, I carry that same belief forward. The victories are no longer just mine. They belong to everyone who walks beside me. From employees to managers, from Iris to Caleb. We are family, chosen and strong. The future feels certain now. For the first time, I smile without doubt. I know the legacy is safe, and I know I was meant to protect it. Every step forward is a tribute to him. Every choice a promise kept. I stand taller with each passing day, because his strength flows through me. The foundation thrives. Arcadia thrives. And I thrive too. The cycle of loss is complete. The cycle of growth begins. What was once a burden is now a gift. The gift of resilience, of faith, the gift of building chosen family, and the gift of giving back. This is what legacy truly means. Not money, not property, but lives touched, protected, and lifted. I close my eyes in gratitude and whisper, "Thank you, Uncle Ben, for teaching me what love really is." The study fills with quiet peace, and I know the story is far from over. But whatever comes, I will meet it, not as a victim, but as a leader, not as the abandoned child, but as the chosen guardian of a legacy. And that legacy now lives in me. Love is a choice we make every single day, I tell her, the truth settling deep in my bones. Sometimes the hardest part is believing we deserve to make that choice and trusting that it will hold. As I hang up the phone, I see my reflection in the glass. I have become the leader Ben always believed I could be. The abandoned child still lingers inside me, but she no longer drives my choices. Instead, she fuels my compassion. The evening breeze carries the scent of Iris's garden through the window. Tomorrow brings board meetings, foundation work, and preparation for Tacoma's opening. But tonight, I sit in the quiet and acknowledge the journey I've taken. When people show you who they are, believe them. Then choose who deserves your loyalty. It is not a lesson I wanted to learn twice, but one I will never forget. Family is not who shares your blood. It is who shares your values, who stands beside you when storms come. Then understood that long before I did. Now that truth belongs to me as well, and I will carry it forward always.